Now that we've got everyone in the class, we're going to start recording, and I am going to do just kind of a quick run through of the $500 a month video funnel. Okay, so here's the thing. It doesn't matter what type of business you run. I'm gonna run through a couple of different scenarios. So here in town, for those of you guys who don't know, I moved back to my hometown once I got my business going. I'm standing in my grandparents' old 5 and dime store. Super excited about that. Living in my old grandparents' house. I have a couple of, so I do something around town for Goodwill. I moved back. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do local ads for free. I don't charge for my local ads in my community. It's my way of giving back to my community because there's a lot of people here in South Louisiana that need ads help and they don't have a very large budget. So I tell you guys this because what I'm going to show you guys today is not only the DCA framework, but it also works for any type of niche. Okay, we've got people in here that are selling vocal lessons. We've got people selling coaching offers. We have people who are selling insurance leads. Does not matter. I'll just run real quick. So in town, we have a restaurant. It's called Lockwood Bar and Grill. The $500 a month video funnel is made up of 2 phases. Tier 1 is phase 1, where we send a cold traffic, and tier 2, which is just retargeting. Okay, think about this. Doesn't matter what type of offer you have. You do cold traffic, warm traffic, right? Just so always think about that. Too many people overcomplicate an ad strategy. An ad strategy is just simple, a way to get new traffic and retarget old traffic. Okay, let's take the complication out of it. What I love about this strategy, very simple to execute, very budget friendly to execute, and over time compounds into a very sustainable lead generation and conversion strategy. So for the restaurant in town, I have 3 pieces of power content videos that are going to cold traffic. Not doing any targeting, just a local restaurant. So you're like, well, what kind of power content would you do for a restaurant? Well, what does the restaurant do better than everyone else in town? What is the gap that they're filling in the marketplace? Who's the owner of the restaurant? What is his story? People connect with people, right? Even with brick and mortar businesses, people want that connection. They want to know. Burton, the owner, is him and I went to high school together, and he was always the class clown. He's got a very awesome personality. People like him. So that's tier 1, right? Now, here's the thing. When you're talking about, because this is where people get wrapped up, they're like, well, you know, what's the length of these power content videos? Okay. When you're talking about a brick and mortar business, we don't need to convince people they need to go eat at a restaurant, right? They're either hungry or they're not, right? If people see an ad for a dentist office, we don't need to do much convincing that they need to go to the dentist, right? So when we're talking about e-commerce products and brick and mortar products, we don't need to do 3 to 5 minutes. We can get our point across in 60-second videos. Okay, that's the only difference between doing the strategy for brick and mortar and for products versus something that we have to work a little bit harder to sell. Right? It's not like everyone's looking for a life coach, right? We have to sometimes educate people on the importance of having a life coach, right? People have to be educated on why they should be using Facebook ads. People aren't going to just wake up one day and be like, oh, I'm gonna look up Laurel Portier or whatever, right? So there's a difference between marketing for a brick and mortar or a product where you don't have to do much convincing, right? You don't have to convince many people that they need soap or shampoo or toothbrush or anything like that, right? So that's the only thing. Everyone understand that? Like, if you are in a niche that you don't need much, you don't have to do much convincing that people need life insurance or car insurance or anything like that, right? So we don't have to do the 3 to 5 minute rule. But if you are in a service provider situation, like pretty much, I consider any coach a service provider. We always provide a service. So I consider coaches service providers. We have to do a lot more education and convincing up here. So our videos, we want them to be 3 to 5 minutes. Okay. So we're shooting for 3 to 5 minutes. Okay. Now, there's one KPI that I recently just changed. Okay. So this is going to be ran as a video view campaign. You can run it as an engagement campaign. Some of my clients have better success with an engagement campaign. 3 to 5 minutes. I'm not going to go into the framework and all of that. That's already in the program, but these are going to be 3 to 5 minute videos. Now, one of the things I do want to go over, and I've already informed my Lean on Laurel students, is, you know how I told you guys there's 2 KPIs? I'm adding a KPI in between. Okay. So originally the KPI was, how do we know if these videos are doing well? How do we know if our audience is connecting with us? 2 ways. Before you have 5,000 impressions, you want to see that you're getting 15 cents per through play. So 1 penny per 15 seconds. So 15 cents per through play. Okay. That's the first KPI. That's the KPI I've been teaching you guys for years. The second KPI I was teaching you guys is $1 per 100% video view. Okay. Now, after coaching you guys for the last 2 to 3 years in this program, I have come to the realization that $1 per 100% video view is tripping a lot of you guys up. You're turning off your campaigns way too soon when it really is generating leads. Now, what do I mean by generating leads? What constitutes a lead in my book is someone who's watching a 3 to 5 minute video 25% or more of the time. I consider that person a lead. If it's a 3 to 5 minute video and someone's watching 25%, I would say that's a lead. And so I am now backing up 1 KPI, so 15 cents per through play, before 5,000 impressions. After you have 5,000 impressions per video, because remember, we're doing 1 video per audience. So let's say I want to put my content in front of Amy Porterfield. I'm going to have 1 campaign, power content campaign. Ad set 1 is going to be Amy Porterfield, power content 1. I'm going to duplicate that, Amy Porterfield, power content 2. I'm going to duplicate that, Amy Porterfield, power content 3. Now, some of you guys might want to do it the other way. You might want to test different audiences with 1 video. If you don't know who your audience is. I know Amy Porterfield, Frank Kern, Russell Brunson, those 3 people have my audience. I keep my targeting simple, very, very simple. Okay. So don't get tripped up on that. Now, so the 2 KPIs that I want you guys to track is 1, 15 cents per through play before 5,000 impressions. After 5,000 impressions, start looking at, am I generating leads for less than $1? So 25%. Okay. So Geo says, what about video for e-commerce? I would say e-commerce, depending on like if it's a 60-second video, I'd probably do more like 50% of a 60-second video. 30 seconds is pretty engaged. I might go as far as watching the whole video. Depends on how long the video is. And I think all of us are smart enough to be able to figure out whether whatever length people are watching, are they engaged with this video? I'll let you guys make that call, but on e-commerce, but does that make sense? I think we could all make that judgment call on those shorter videos. But for the longer ones, we want, so 2 KPIs, right? 15 cents per through play and less than $1 per 25% video view. Because what I'm seeing is a lot of people are over optimizing their power content and it's keeping them in paralysis. Like we want to keep moving forward, right? Because this is not quite where the magic happens. It's down here, right? Retargeting. What I love about this strategy is that you can literally, like guys, I use this for years to fill up this program. So it doesn't really matter. So if you have a brick and mortar business or an e-commerce, skip the value bomb. Let's make it easy. Skip the value bomb, right? That's the cheat sheet or whatever thing that you're giving away with this video. Skip the value bomb. It's not important conversations in this case. I'm more or less designed the value bomb for service providers. Okay. That'll simplify it a lot for everyone because people are like, can you use value bombs? Absolutely. Think about this. If I have Burton on video saying, hey, come on down to Lockwoods, we're boiling crawfish tonight. And for everyone who comments on this video right now, I'm going to give you this coupon for a free appetizer. Drop me a line below and we will hook you up with this coupon. You can do it for it doesn't matter. Like if you have an e-commerce product, hey, drop me a line below and we will send you a BOGO coupon, buy one, get one, or 20% off your first order or something, right? There are things that we can do to generate conversations. Conversations, fastest path to cash. Just depends on how much time that you have to execute something like that. But this strategy, it doesn't matter. Like the power content strategy will work in any niche. Doctors' offices, dentists, there's always something that we can give people to have that interaction with them, right? What do people want? Relationships, right? Conversations, fastest path to cash in any niche, doesn't matter. You think if Burton gets in Messenger and starts giving away this coupon, people are going to be like, wow, the owner literally gave me this coupon. I'm going to go out and have some boiled crawfish tonight, right? So Nathan just asked a really good question. To clarify, the 25% views for under $1 KPI is after or before? After 5,000 impressions. 15 cents per through play before 5K? Yep, you're very welcome. And then let's focus on, are my power content videos generating leads? Okay. Charlene actually asked a really good question and I want to discuss budget. Okay. Think about this. Okay. Think about this. Let me actually, there we go. Okay. So if you are just starting out, right, you don't have a lot of pixel data. As a matter of fact, you could actually execute this whole thing without pixel data, just so you know. Like a lot of people who are in my Lean on Laurel program, and Charlene will tell you, and I see Joe in here too, are executing booking calls without ever having to build a click funnel, a lead funnel, or anything like that. Like this is what's really cool about the strategy. And we'll talk a little bit more about how that works. But so let's say we have $500 budget. Charlene's question is, how do I divide my budget between this strategy? Right? If you are starting from zero, you have no pixel data, no invisible list, like Frank Kern calls the invisible list, right? People who are watching videos. If you have zero, I'm probably for the first 90 days, I am probably only going to run power content. Why? Because remember, in order to retarget, you need 500 to 1,000 people in an audience. So if we're starting from zero, we have to push almost all of our budget here. Because I see a lot of people, right? Charlene says, for anyone wondering, that's $16 a day. So if you're starting from zero, we have to fill our bucket, right? Now, for those of you guys who are getting, less than $1 per 25% video view, guess what? After 1 month, right? Because we only need 500 to 1,000. After a month, you're going to have between 500 to 1,000 people in that bucket so that we can start retargeting. Here's the thing though, all right? Tier 2, we want to start doing organically. Okay. So I'm going to divide this in two. So tier 2 content, right? So once we have people who are watching 25% or more, or people who are visiting our website, if you have a lot of website visits, we're going to start sending people tier 2 ads. These could be offer ads, right? So my tier 2 ads are the ads to my $7 program. They could be applications to book a call. They can be, Bryant can use it to sell his $47 a month program. Okay, so your tier 2 right here inside the ads manager. So there's two different types of tier 2 content. One that you're going to put in the ads manager and one that you're going to boost on your business page. Think about this, okay? Stay with me. Let's ignore the ads in the ads manager right now, right? Let's pretend that you don't have this audience right here, right? That's building up. I still want you guys to do Facebook Lives. I want you guys to do value posts on your business page. Because then what we're going to do is once you have the audience here, in Lean on Laurel, we call it a warm stack. We take our warm stack and we boost our most successful posts on our business page, or we boost everything. My preference is I do $10 for 3 days. That's my preference on doing boosted posts. What's the difference between a boosted post and an ad that's an ads manager? Nothing except one thing. Boosted posts have an expiration date. Yep, Fitz nailed it. They have an expiration date. So what I do personally, I still do this strategy, is I take my warm stack. Now I run my power content strategy on both Instagram and Facebook, because now you can run longer videos on Instagram. I also run these on YouTube. That's all in the program too. I added the my YouTube power content setup. I do the same thing, guys. Every time I post a YouTube video, I take the people who've already been watching those 3 videos and I run ads to all my videos. Right here, I'm boosting posts. Do you guys see how fast you could build your audience doing this strategy? And just simply like boosted posts will act as a retargeting strategy. You don't even have like the restaurant I work for, we don't even do this strategy. We run top of funnel videos and I just boost all of their daily lunch specials. I boost all of their new drink specials. I boost everything that they post once a day, and I just boost everything. They have, you know, wing night on Mondays. They've got dollar pizza night on Tuesdays. They've got barbecue day on Wednesdays. So every time I'm just boosting the post. $2, like we literally spend $2 a day on all of these. And here, each of these are like $5 a day. So they spend way less than $1,000 a month. But if we wanted to break it up, right? Because here's the thing, if you want to stay within $500, here's how you do that. Here's how you do that. So think about this. If you do $5, $5, $5, that's going to be $450 a month just on power content, right? What you're going to find though, if you only have $500 to spend, you want to move some budget, right? So you can split some down here. So where do you find the money? Likely what's going to happen is you're going to see that 1 or 2 of these videos are going to work much better at generating leads than another video. So we simply just turn that off, right? And we allocate the budget somewhere else. Or you can turn that one off and allocate the budget here so that you get faster leads, right? So let's say you, after 1 month, you still don't have, you know, 500 leads, right? I would optimize those 3 videos and say, okay, which one is bringing the most leads for the best buck? I would turn off the ones that are performing the worst, even if, like, let's say all 3 of them aren't hitting our marks. Like we're not getting 25% less than $1. Let's say we're not doing that. I'm not going to ever stop generating leads. I don't care how much I'm bringing them in. I need that flow into my business. Everyone get that? Even though it might not be performing, I want to still generate leads. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off those 2 videos and I'm going to try to create 2 more that's going to be able to beat the KPIs that this one's getting. But then you might say, okay, Laurel, I've got 2 of these videos off. This one is generating 25% views for 25 cents. Cool. Let that run, you know, $5 a day. Then you have more budget to allocate for retargeting. $500 a month is more than enough to generate appointments. Like if you have and this is why I love this strategy for high ticket. Okay. I love this strategy for high ticket. Like inside my discovery call accelerator, people are generating appointments like for less than $5 and $10 using this strategy. It's freaking crazy. Like that's why like my Lean on Laurel program has gone all in on the 3 different variations of the discovery call accelerator. There's 2 variations. If you're not hitting 15K a month, there's 2 variations on this strategy. And then there's a variation for after you reach 15K a month. That's where we add in the webinar or any type of lead magnet. Doesn't matter. Like, because here's the thing, a lot of people are trying to optimize a webinar. They're trying to do that, but they don't have the budget to do that. And they don't have a validated offer to do that. The only difference between this and my DCA strategy is here, we're doing a power offer. Sorry, I'm still recovering from a rotator cuff surgery, so it's still kind of hard to write. So I'm sorry for that. So right here, we're doing to cold a power offer validation test where we want to spend $100 to $150 per application. That is the only difference between the $500 a month funnel and the DCA strategy. I wanted to show you guys that because I know a lot of you guys said that you are selling high ticket. The only difference is we're splitting between cold power content and the power offer, which takes people directly to an application. But we're still doing this strategy, which is the ATM strategy. It's in the $7 program. I put it in there. And then the boosted post strategy, that's also in the program. Like a lot of people ask me, like, what's the difference between the $7 program and the Lean on Laurel program? Charlene, what's the difference? I'm gonna put Charlene on the spot. What's the difference between this program and the Lean on Laurel?
You get a lot more hands-on and like customized advice to you because there's a lot fewer people.
Yeah.
And accountability as well, I want to add.
Oh yeah, I kick their butts, but I want everyone to succeed. Like a lot of people are like, what's the difference between your $7 program, $1,000 program? Nothing except fits, hit it, access to me. Charlene has to put up with me 14 times a month, if not more, because they get daily Q&A with me plus 14 calls a month. It's a lot. So we'll clear that out of the way because I've been getting a lot of private messages. What's the difference between Lean on Laurel? That's the difference. Joe, you have something. Joe's in my Lean on Laurel program, which by the way, 1 month in Lean on Laurel the program, honestly, the sales training that Joe did last week is worth just the $1,000 a month to get access to Joe's sales training. Freaking amazing. Sorry, Joe, I had to call you out.
No, I appreciate that. But what I was going to say, the difference from the $7 program and the $1,000 program, in addition to everything Charlene said about you making us cry on a regular basis, is giving us the ability to scale our business to wherever we want it to go. And Ivan shared some of the new results I have with you. I'll share them on our Lean on Laurel, but I'm getting incredible results. It took me a while to figure it out, but after some guidance from you, I would have never figured this out on my own. So that's the difference. About $10,000 a month for me.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And I promise I didn't pay them to be here. I just always love sharing that and I love when they share those stories because I want you guys to understand that you don't have to have a lot of money to generate appointments. You don't need this complicated strategy. You just need to have your messaging dialed in and optimized. That's it, right? Because think about this. If you're giving away cheat sheets here, so let's say, I'll use myself as an example, right? So in my top of funnel power content, the video that outperforms everything is my webinar retargeting strategy, right? That video outperforms all of my stuff. So I just have buku cash on that one video and I send it to Amy Porterfield's audience, Frank Kern's audience, and Russell Brunson's audience, right? And the freebie is a video that I did of webinar optimization, like optimizing the entire funnel. And so whenever I want to scale, and I was telling my students this morning because we had our 90-day planning, I said, a lot of people want to go straight for that webinar. I still live in this strategy right here, even though I'm at 7 figures working on my second 7 figures. This is still the strategy I use. I still don't have a webinar outside of the stuff that I do here because this strategy just works so well. I have so many conversations from new people that I give my conversations to. And then I convert so many people here, and then my people who come through the program that upgrade to Lean on Laurel. This strategy. I've been doing the same strategy. If you go look back at my videos 4 years ago, I'm still teaching the exact same strategy for like 4 years earlier. This is still a good strategy. And it's affordable for everybody. Right? So, does anyone have any questions? Yep, Nathan.
Hey, Laurel. So brand new, starting again from scratch, power content. In the last couple of months, my offer, which I have validated, done really well with, it's dropped off on my organic audience a little bit. And thinking about repositioning part of it, bringing it out. If I'm going to run power content, should I focus on just trying to gin up an audience for the original offer that has already been validated? Or would you suggest that I just focus on repositioning, getting a few sales off the new positioning before I go to the power content?
What is the ultimate goal? What are you trying to do? What do you want to happen?
Have conversations with people.
About what? What do you want? What do you ultimately want to happen?
I want them to enroll in my offer.
Okay. So here's the thing, okay? These pieces of power content need to be polarizing yet attractive to your ideal audience. So
Yes.
you do not want to do any videos that are going to attract people who would never be a great fit. I'll give you guys an example. One of the biggest changes that I made in my marketing is I used to teach people in my power content videos how to launch Facebook ads. What did that attract? A lot of newbies to the arena. The one messaging shift I started making, notice it was like webinar retargeting. It wasn't how to launch webinar ads, retargeting, right? So the one thing that I changed that really was a huge difference in my business was instead of teaching people how to launch their Facebook ads, I teach people how to fix them. So that's going to attract a whole different type of person than someone who's never launched an ad before.
Yeah.
So we have to make sure, and so this is kind of a long-winded answer to your question. We have to make sure that these power content videos, because think about it, this is our ecosystem down here. We have to protect our ecosystem. We do not want to spend marketing dollars marketing to people who will never buy or are not a good fit for our program.
Okay, so I think I understand that we need to target people that already have assets, that are bringing something to the table, so that we can help them get to where they want to go faster, cheaper, better.
Exactly. So who are you helping?
In general, I help people that have an audience, they have an offer, they are making sales. They're either spending way too much time delivering, or they're spending way too much time on phone calls trying to make sales. So I help to shorten, both of those processes.
Right. So, but what is the offer? What are
That's
people
what
going to spend? What are people going to spend money on?
That was my original.
You told me what you do, but you didn't tell me your offer.
That was my original question. So the current offer, the one that was making sales up until about a couple of months ago, was go into your Facebook group, get people's hands raising with simple posts, then enroll them into your 4-figure offer with a Google Doc and a couple of messages on chat.
I love that. Let's bring some numerals into that. Yeah, like some key metrics in there, and you'll have.
Do you want my IVQ? Because I have it.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's, you give me $6,000 and I'll help you enroll at least $10,000 in business in 30 days or less, provided that you have a Facebook group or an email list of 500 people or more, and an offer of $500 to $5,000.
Grand slam, Nathan. Good job. Like that was perfect. Like that was awesome. Who wouldn't give Nathan money? Everyone's like, I'd give Nathan that much money, right?
Okay, good.
A great offer. Have you I would run a cold power offer to that and just enroll people.
Okay, so okay, cool, because my confidence has been a little bit shaken because nobody's been taking me up on it.
You might have ran out.
Audience.
Yeah,
what?
You might have ran out of your organic audience. Here's how I do my lean on Laurel, right? With cold traffic. I don't do it very often because you guys keep my program full most of the time. But there are sometimes I want to validate it, make sure it still is a good offer. So the power offer 100 validation tests, and I think Geo asked the question, $100 a day? No, $100 per application. So we're running a power offer ad straight to an application. The KPI on that is we want to get one application for every $100 to $150 spent. Okay. So that is what we want to do. That's going to give you good validation, right? So I send people to my power offer. They fill out an application. I then reach out to them in Messenger. I do not move them to a phone call. So you can do it two ways, right? You can take a look at their application, reach out to them in Messenger, or you can do like what Charlene's doing, what Joe's doing. They're running their power offer to an application to book a call. So that's how we validate that our offer is good to cold traffic. Yeah, because our warm audience, like I can put out any offer, you guys are going to buy it, right? But the true test is, can I get people to raise their hands who don't know me? Yep. So for cold power offer ads, we're using conversion objective because we want them to, we're using an application funnel. So we want them to fill out an application. So I always put the submit application on the thank you page so that we could optimize for submit applications. Or if you're like Charlene or Joe, they're sending people to application, calendar, schedule, application funnel, right? So it just depends on how you've built your application funnel. Because some people do, actually, is there anything on this other side? Nope. I like that double-sided. Look how easy that was. Okay. So we have our power offer, and then we have our application funnel, right? So people are filling out the application. Once they submit that application, it goes to a calendar, right? And then a thank you. Everyone can see that? Okay. So this is what a typical application funnel looks like. But if you are like me and Nathan, who don't want to actually do the calls, this app just goes straight to a thank you page that has a submit application event on it. If you have the entire funnel, people go to this application that goes to a calendar. So submit app event will go on this page, and then schedule will go there. Now, I have people that are actually running this power offer straight to their Calendly link. Some people aren't even using the pixel. Some of my clients, they don't care. They just care about the amount of traffic coming through Calendly. So this can be as easy or as hard as you make it. Janice, what light bulb went off in your head? Now I'm curious.
The fact that you said that when you change who you wanted to work with, things changed for you, because I find myself having to deal with brand new people on the field that I'm trying to push, or people that are not that motivated. So it's just, that was an aha moment. I gotta say so, because now I can say, you know what, let me just tweak some things to where I want to attract the people that already kind of like started, right? And they just need that extra push, so that I don't have to sweat and and go crazy with the newbies in my field. So that
Yes.
This is it for me. Thank you so much for that.
You're very welcome. Like in Nathan's case, his power content is probably going to be around group growth. It's going to repel anyone who doesn't have a Facebook group. And what did he say? One of the requirements was having a Facebook group. Black Fire, even though I know that's not your name. What's your name again? I know I've asked you this
It's
before.
Kamisha.
Kamisha, y'all help me remember Kamisha's name.
I know it says Black Fire because that's who I am when I'm on my Zoom calls. I'm Rev. I'm Rev.
That's awesome. I love that.
You could call me Rev if you can't remember that. That's okay. But I know I have been MIA for a minute. I did finally sell for me anyway, a high ticket offer, $1,000 offer for a program that I'm running. One person signed up. So I felt very good about that. I did. I was like, okay, first I was like, only one person, but then I had to fix my mentality, right? Mm-hmm. And so my question was about that. Like, what do you consider a validated offer? Like if one person signed up for $1,000 program, would you consider that a validated offer?
So here's the good news, right? I don't even consider like the sales are extra, right? The only thing that I'm testing here to validate my offer is people raising their hand if they're filling out the application. I'm not even counting the sales by validation. To me, validating this offer are people filling out the application. That's enough validation for me. We can convert them later, right? Because guess what? If they hit this application page, they're going to get all of our retargeting once we get enough people. Remember, so if you're looking at my DCA strategy, I guess I can talk a little bit more about that because most of the people here are wanting to book high ticket calls. This is what we would call our warm stack, is people who watch 25% or more of the video, or they've hit this application page, right? So that is what I teach people, but before they have reached like 15K a month, this is where you should live. Here's the thing though, remember I told you I'm working on my second 7 figures and I'm still in this. But think about this. If we have a validated power offer, what's going to happen is, you know, Nathan, Charlene, Joe, Rev, everyone here who's running, once you optimize this, you're going to be getting a lot of unqualified people and a lot of calls with people that aren't qualified. That's okay. That's practice. That's practice, right? But here's the thing. Once that's validated, you have more leads than you know what to do with. That is when we go, you guys ready for this? That's whenever we put a webinar in front of this. Only after we validated the offer. Because webinar is going to be one micro step in front of the application. That's where I find it appropriate to put a webinar into someone's strategy, is after they've already validated their offer, they have cash flow, and they need to go for less volume. But when you're first starting and you're not consistently making $15,000 a month, we need volume, right? We need volume. We need practice. We need optimization. We need validation. Once we have all of that and we're making cash flow, that's whenever we're going to put a webinar. And I recommend not even an automated webinar, a live webinar a couple of times before automating it. A lot of times a lot of my clients don't even get past the live webinar because it converts so well. They don't want to risk anything. Does that make sense? Like as we're growing, right? Like whenever I built this strategy, I built it with you guys in mind and my clients in mind, because like so many people are trying to set you guys up with webinars and VSLs and all of that stuff. But it's like, we need to make that cash flow, because webinars and low ticket offers are the 2 most expensive ad strategies. And so that's why I like to get cash flow in my pocket. But like I said, I still don't have a webinar funnel to get people in. I pretty much use this program and all of my retargeting as my funnel.
Okay. You answered my question. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Fitz, what's up?
Yo, what's happening? What's going on?
What's up? Good videos. We need to get more people to see them.
Yeah. You know, I called myself just testing them. I don't have no fake account to test anything with. So I just put them on my personal profile. I was having a problem with Repurpose IO and OneStream Live, but it seems like they got it fixed now. My question to you is, the training is great, and I got to go back through it and refamiliarize myself with the actual strategies to really implement. How would this, because I've created a couple of courses that, well, I got one course that I sold. It's like, I can sell it anywhere between $997 and $1497. And I taught it live and got some people in there. Now I'm ready to really automate it. And just thinking about the actual value bombs to deliver, because the course is around helping Kingdom entrepreneurs get a strong foundation to launch their business. It's like a marketing accelerator. So that way they get the foundation to really, grow their business. And
have you created your power offer for that offer yet?
I got Joel Irway's thing, and I haven't viewed it yet. So
okay,
cool.
You guys, all of you guys who are buying the power offer, have you guys noticed a new training in that program? Anyone notice a new training in the Power Offer workshop from Joel's?
Is that your training in there you talking about?
The DCA, yep. Exactly what I was just teaching you guys, the DCA. Because I built the strategy around, I loved his Power Offer so much. I worked it into my strategy, and he was like, how are you getting so many sales in my thing? And I showed him, and he's like, wow. He's like, that fits so well. As a matter of fact, and you guys will see this if you guys watch the training in there, he actually had me set all of this up for him in his ads manager. So that was really cool. So if that wasn't validation that this strategy doesn't work, I don't know what is. That was a great honor. But yeah, so Fitz, I would definitely work on that Power Offer. I can see the seeds that are building that offer, but getting as clear as Nathan. Did you hear how clear Nathan's was? That's how clear it needs to be.
Okay, yeah. Messaging is one of my stronger points. I just haven't sat down to really refine it to make it fit in the framework that you've given us.
It doesn't have to fit into my framework. Like Nathan didn't use my framework, but it was still freaking crystal clear.
Yeah. So one thing I'll say to everybody, encourage them to do is take action. You know, sometimes I know me personally, I can't speak to anybody else, but I know me personally. Because some things may not appear to be complex because there's no 4-figure price tag on front of it or 5-figure price tag, we tend to, I'll get around to it. And then we go looking for other places and spend the 4 or 5 figures and realize, dang, it's right here for $7. It's everything. They done took her stuff and repurposed it, call it their own. So Laura, you're an amazing resource. And I thank Christina for sharing you with us.
Oh, no, thank you. That honestly made my day. And that is the goal of this program. And as you guys can see, look how like everyone here is getting a chance to like get this personalized right now. Right? Like not enough people in the program take advantage of these calls, and that's y'all's benefit, right? I'll talk to just 1 or 2 people. I don't care, right? As long as I help one person get this, right? Because this is like lifeblood, right? Too many people put this in the hands of someone who doesn't give a damn about their business, right? A lot of agencies, they don't know how to write good power content for you guys because they're not in your business. They just write scripts off of templates. You could sell your business better than I can. And I'm good at ads, but that's why I want to teach you guys the frameworks, because you guys can write much better stuff if you just have the proper frameworks in place than I will ever do. And that's the truth. And that's why I love this and my Lean on Laurel program so much, is because I'm giving you guys the tools. And then once you have enough money, then you can go and pay an agency, but you're delegating it to them versus trusting them with your strategy. Like, even if you ever get enough like cash flow to where you're like, you know what, I just want to delegate this to someone else, I honestly would recommend you delegating it to a media buyer, like on your own team, because that one person will be dedicated to only your business. But if you do end up hiring an agency, just make sure, hey, you already have the strategy. You know what type of content to give them. You know what kind of copy to give them. You know what kind of funnel, right? You're able to delegate this to an agency versus letting the agency delegate you. That's a big thing. That was like the biggest thing. Like even my agency clients, I coach them. That's how I actually got my Lean on Laurel program. It's all of the training videos I did for my agency clients to teach them how to do content. Because without my agency clients giving me the things I need to put in Ads Manager, we would be dead in the water. I could guess all I want, but the business owner is always going to know that ideal audience much better than I ever will, because they're with that audience all the time. Yep, teach us how to fish. Yep.
Hey, one quick question. What would be, from your experience, a new entrepreneur that's trying to get into marketing, is trying to market their own business, what would be a value bomb that you would consider creating or suggesting that they create?
Freaking awesome question. I love this. So for someone who's new, what are they searching on YouTube for? What are they literally typing into YouTube to try to know how to do?
Most of them have 9-to-5 jobs, and they're asking, how do I start business? How do I get more leads? How do I make more money?
Yep. So what kind of business are they? Like an online business?
Most of them are they're subject matter experts and they want to be coaches and consultants in the online space.
Yep. So what would be the first thing, like, what would they, like, if they're still in their 9 to 5, what are they're typing in, like, how to get leads? One of the best lead magnets I ever ran, honestly, and I'll show you guys it because I know he won't mind. Brandon Hofer, I had him in a couple of weeks ago to teach you guys his mastermind strategy, right? So we ran this exact same strategy for Brandon Hofer. And his lead magnet was called How to Get Your First 10 Coaching Clients. Freaking phenomenal. We ran power content. The comments on that ad was freaking ridiculous. Like, and he was able to move people so gracefully from comments to messenger to phone call. We had to hardly go beyond that for him to get all of that cash flow. It was hardly beyond this. So I would say something very similar to that, like, because if that's what people are worried about, is how to get your, how to consistently get 10 clients a month so you can quit your 9 to 5 or something like that would be something good. Like, just think about the things that are they're literally what they're typing into YouTube.
Okay. So I guess from my recollection, I was thinking the value bomb was like a cheat sheet of some sort. Connect the dots for me.
Just write down. So I'll anytime that I have a question or something, like the other day, I'll actually show you this, Charlene, hope you don't mind. The other day in Lean on Laurel, she was like, hey, can I see how you're doing a messenger conversation? Like, how do you take people from comment to messenger and how does the conversation go, right? So I literally just got on a Loom video, walked her through the comments, and then I just did this, right? I just made this up. Now, like, anytime that I'm going to teach my client accelerator 2-step, I'm going to be like, who here wants my exact messenger framework that I use every time I want to sell someone into a conversation, right? And so whenever I think of value bombs, I'm like thinking, like, what is the most valuable thing that I can give this person right now that's going to get them to the next step? And so don't overthink it. Like, value bombs could be cheat sheets, they could be Loom videos, they could be past YouTube videos. Like, as a matter of fact, a lot of times my value bombs are past trainings or cheat sheets that I've already done. But if I don't have a cheat sheet, sometimes I make them up on the spot. Like, if I'm doing power content and I'm like, you know what, that cheat sheet would be good, I just promote it. And then if no one asks for it, I don't create it. But if they do, I create it on the spot like that. So if you want, you could even test 3 different cheat sheets for those 3 different videos and see which one performs the best.
Hi, Laurel. I'm just popping in here. I got here a little late. Unfortunately, I had a meeting that lasted way too long. But what I do is we build lead generation websites, a lot of organic traffic. And what we try to do is when we get a new client, we will like supplement the leads for contractors, basically,
Okay.
local contractors. And we'll supplement that with ads. And I don't know, like normally just sometimes they work. I was going through your training like right before I had that meeting, which is kind of funny. And one of the last things you said before I paused it was that what was it, like 8 out of 10 fail. So I was like, we're only putting 1 ad out there, maybe 2 variations of the ad. So that's probably a good reason why we'll have, huge success on one site and then no success on a couple of other ones. So my question would be how to, like, I hear you talking about courses and all that, and I know that your ads work with pretty much anything. So I guess give me a little snippet. How would you, if I said, hey, I have this site, it's ranking, hasn't ranked yet, but I need leads for, I don't know, a concrete company or an asphalt company that's building driveways or parking lots or whatever, right?
Yep.
What would that look like? Because we just say, hey, need a new driveway. I mean, obviously it's better than this, but our copy's like, hey, we need a new driveway. Or if you, curb appeal, whatever the call to action is, but fill out this form basically on Facebook ads.
Mhm.
and one of our contractors will call you, and we get decent amount of calls, but we would like to increase that, right?
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. No, I love this question. So think about this. What are all of the different reasons as to why someone would want a new driveway or they want to repair a current driveway? And what is the gap that your company or your client's company fills in the marketplace?
Yeah, and that's, once again, they do custom quotes. They'll do
Yeah, but
free quotes.
every driveway
Yeah,
company
yeah.
does that. You're selling me tires and a steering wheel to a brand new car. What's the reason to buy? Like, why should they pick you?
Well, that's a good question. I would have to, I guess that question would, or the answer would change depending on the company that I'm working with. Right now, I'm just thinking of an asphalt company that I'm working with. He's actually the absolute highest price, but he does it right. But he's the absolute highest price in his community. And he doesn't do seal coating or anything like that because he won't do the cheap stuff. So he's really one of our hardest.
Is it a local issue that people aren't doing concrete driveways correctly? Is that like a huge issue, or?
I honestly don't know. It would, like I said, it just depends because I don't live in the same area they do because we're an agency. So, but we're helping him with his ads. But like I said, it just depends on. Normally, we knock it out of the park. But so what we've seen is when we have crazy high budget, we get this guy like 20 leads a day, 20 calls a day. But when we do lower budgets, we don't. I don't know what the deal is. Obviously, we're not an ads company, so let me just start there. Like, we don't do ads. We focus in organic traffic, but we try to supplement with ads when we need to. And like I said, normally just getting a few calls because these are high ticket items. If somebody buys a driveway or a parking lot, one lead sells it, right? But we just need to get leads until the website ranks high enough in their local community to get organic calls, right? So that's kind of what we're trying to do.
Are you guys using a quote funnel?
A quote funnel? No, I don't know.
I would use a quote funnel, right? Because and then like they start at, location, right? And then it goes to the next page. Like you could use something like Jotform or whatever for this. Like a quote funnel. That's like what real estate agents use, home insurance companies use, car insurance companies use. Like I see quote funnels work really, really well because people are shopping around for price.
Right.
So you're generating a lead by just that person searching for the quote.
So when you're saying quote funnel, are you saying like, just the form to fill out, like to get a free quote? Is that what you're saying? But when I say I'm new to ads, I'm like extremely new to ads.
No, this is a really good question. And a lot of people, like, they don't think about, like, when they're generating leads, like, here's what happened. I don't feel I can fully answer this question until I kind of give you like a little background, right? When Facebook ads like first started, right? You could run ads to a funnel and be a bazillionaire. Like that's just how it is, right? But what's happened, right, is all of the amount of courses and YouTube how-to videos. Everyone is running Facebook ads right now for companies, right? There's even so many programs teaching people how to do lead generation for companies, right? And so what's happening is the market that does this is super, super saturated. And so a lot of times things stop working because ad costs have gone up. And so if I were running ads to generate leads for a concrete company or any type of company that relies on getting, quotes, you could literally do one of two things. You could run one funnel for your company and distribute the leads that you get here based on the needs of all your companies, or you can create a different funnel for each of your clients. There's two ways to do it. I've seen people do it both ways, right? But back in the day, lead forms were awesome. Like you could get people to fill out their name and number, good to go. I find that this works really, really well because it doesn't look like you're going to get sold to. They're just trying to get to the information that's going to give them the quote that they're looking for. Right.
So yeah, so I guess I would have to research.
You're more likely to get a lead with something like this than you are a lead form.
Okay, yeah, because that's the only thing I've been taught. Like I'm a part of another digital marketing type group as well, and that they just teach, just do a lead funnel, or not lead funnel, but a lead form. Yeah, and get you a few leads for that client until your site ranks. So we can rank a site like crazy, but I don't know why. But this Facebook ad, well, one, I'm very new. I don't know anything about it. Your program just made sense because there was no reason for me to go spend thousands of dollars on a course that isn't even our niche, right? We don't want to run ads. I don't want to be an ad agency. We want to build websites. But anyway, so that's kind of the point. So when you say a quote funnel, what?
Yep.
I guess
So
I don't.
basically just be, so it'd be a landing page that has multiple choice questions that just gets people. So the first part is like, you know, give us your, you know, you could save their name for the end of the funnel. I've seen it done both ways, or you can start off the funnel with that, right? So, and like I said, you could do this through Jotform or anything like that. It's basically an application funnel, right? So they put in their name and email here, right? Because they want to get a quote, like get a quote for your next driveway, you know, and then at the bottom, you could be guaranteed to beat all of the competitors or something like that. Like whatever that offer
Right.
is, but you have to figure that out, right? So
Mhm.
they fill out their name and email, and then it takes them to a series of questions that I like to do multiple choice, because people are more likely to do multiple choice than have to type in answers, and it's a lot faster and easier for them. And then it just goes to a thank you page. And it talks about how someone's gonna reach out to them via phone call.
I think that's, I don't know if that's what I do or not, because it is something like that where they fill out their information, and then it has, are you looking to do a driveway, a parking lot, a blah, 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 whatever. And then at the end, it says, thank you, we'll be reaching out. So but
Okay.
I've selected lead form. I don't know if that is exactly the
A
same
lead
thing.
form doesn't, I mean, you can put in a couple of boxes, but it doesn't operate the same way an application, but it's just.
So is
Lead
it,
forms are
I
just
guess,
very
is it a selection? Once again, I have not set up many of these. So is it when you go into where you would normally click?
This would
lead
be a
form?
separate funnel, like a ClickFunnels or Lead Pages or something, right? So it would be like a separate, it's a platform outside. So you'd be using like you could use ClickFunnels, you could use Jotform, you could use any type of thing that's going to bring people from one question, they submit it, it goes to the next, it goes to the next, it goes to the next. So it is different than a lead form.
So we use Go High Level. Is that kind of the same thing?
Yep. Go High
Okay.
Level has forms that you can do. Absolutely. I would split test that with lead forms. Who knows? Your lead forms might outperform this, but most of the time these outperform lead forms because there's pre-populated answers in there. It makes it quicker for people to go through. Now, what you're doing is very basic, right? You're telling people they can get a new driveway and you're sending them to a funnel. This will make a difference. This will help you optimize. But here's where the big difference is. And I'll give you an example. So one of my agency clients the other day, she had a water pipe break in her house, right? And she was calling all the plumbers. And of course, they all had an answering service. She stopped when one of them on their answering service said, "Hey, thank you for calling. Please leave me a message, and I promise you that I will be able to get back to you today." All of the other ones were just leave us a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. What's the difference?
Yeah, the promise, right? The promise to call
She
back.
didn't care how much more that plumber was because she had a hair on fire problem. Like, this is it, right? That's what I mean whenever I say, what gap are you filling in the marketplace? That plumber is filling the gap that people don't want to wait several days to get a plumber. Like whenever I say, like I've been, like I said, I've been doing physical therapy for my rotator cuff. The doctor that does my rotator cuff, I always tell my wife, if there was a doctor that promised me I would be taken at the appointment that I booked, I don't care how much that doctor cost, I'm going to go to that doctor because like, I wish someone, right, that would be filling the gap. That is a complaint that a lot of people have, is that doctors don't take patients at the time of their appointment. That would be a way, if there was a new doctor in the area and I was doing his marketing, I'd be like, that's the marketing statement that I would use. Guaranteed to see you at the appointment that you booked. That's what I mean by an offer, right? And so, Michael, what I would do is I would go to your concrete companies and say, hey, like, what do you guys do different than everyone else? What is it? What is the main complaint that your customers are having? And how do you guys do better than your competitors? That would be the main question. Right. That's going to take your ad campaigns, and not only that, but your SEO campaigns. That's going to take them from good to freaking phenomenal. just knowing that one piece of information.
Right.
Right? What is Geico's 15 minutes will save
15.
you 15% or less. That's their
Yeah.
offer.
Mm-hmm. And so I guess what I'm thinking is, so the ad that you're putting on Facebook actually is just, instead of it being a lead ad, it would be just click to a link that sends them to this funnel. Is that what you're saying?
Yep, it would be a conversion campaign.
Conversion. Got it.
But keep using your lead forms, because honestly, what you say in the ad is going to make the biggest impact. This is just going to be an optimization strategy to test.
Yeah, because I mean, what we say right now, I'd have to pull it up, but let me, I don't want to take up all your time here. I'm sure other people have questions, but see if I can pull it up in 2 seconds. Yeah, right here. So we run two.
Show me. Do you want to pull up your app? Let's take a look at it.
Oh, I'm on my phone. I guess I can come
Okay.
back in, but yeah, one is 10% off asphalt paving for area homeowners. And then that obviously we'd fill in area for so-and-so county homeowners or whatever. And then we also have another one that says save big on asphalt paving. And then the first add one, which is the 10%, like calling so-and-so area homeowners for the month of whatever, we're giving away 10 coupons for 10% off of asphalt paving. Now's the perfect time to get your driveways paved. Click learn more to grab a coupon today. Once we book 10, we're closing this down. And that's converted really well. And then
it's got that sense of, it's got a little sense of urgency in there.
yeah, and then this one converted even better after we added, this was the variation that kind of was birthed out of that first one, which was save big, because we were getting some comments that was like, oh wow, only 10%. So we were like, what if we remove the percentage? So it was like save big on asphalt paving, calling area, whatever area homeowners got cracked asphalt, sunken driveway, or
That
uneven
went too
patio
broad. You
area.
went too broad. You like 10% is a very like.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, so the next one, we took all that away, but we still left the 10% in the actual ad copy. But we said calling area homeowners, got cracked asphalt, sunken driveway, or even uneven patio area. Now's the time to get that fixed. For a limited time, we're giving away 10% off for asphalt paving to eligible homeowners. Click learn more to see if you qualify.
Are you guys using static image ads?
What's that?
Are you guys using static image ads?
Yes, all images.
I would test video ads.
See, and we've never been good because we're not there. So that's been the biggest hurdle.
It doesn't matter. Use stock. Like you and your team could just go out, get a slab of cement, fucking hit it with a sledgehammer,
right.
crumble it. Honestly, like that
yeah.
You don't think that ad's going to outperform the click-through rate of the one that you're running right now?
Oh, probably. Yeah, I wouldn't have any doubts. Yeah, because we know that videos work. We tried one video where the contractor sent us a video of him actually, it was like a sped up video. It was like watch us transform this driveway or whatever. And it was literally start to finish sped up in like 3 minutes. It was really cool. But that one was pretty good, but he got like no leads from it. A lot of views, a ton of views, but no leads. So I don't know, maybe
weird.
the offer
I don't know why
wasn't
that wouldn't have was there any text on the video?
Yeah, it was the same. We ran two with the same copy. It's just two were videos and two were regular images. The images outperformed.
Was it because Facebook favored one over the other too soon? Because sometimes that happens where Facebook.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up, because that's been a huge issue, is that we'll put a ton of money towards something and like toward the ad budget, and then we'll notice that only one of the ads is getting any of the money at all, and then the rest of them have like $5 on it.
Are you guys tired of me yet, or you guys want me to do a quick training? I'll show you guys how to fix that. Like,
I will sit here literally all day if we can fix.
You guys
this
are tired? Are you guys tired of me yet? No. Okay. Okay. So whenever we're doing like a lead gen campaign, right? Like whether we're doing to generate leads for a webinar, whether we are selling a low ticket offer. So if Bryant is still here, this is the way that I do all my setup. So a lot of you guys will hear me say my 5x3 setup. Okay. I only do my 5x3 setup whenever I am testing. I do not know whether I have an audience or content that works yet. So I use a 5x3 setup. I didn't make it up. This is just standard, right? So what I mean is 5 ad sets. So ad set number 1, ad set number 2, ad set number 3, ad set number 4, ad set number 5. Okay, so we've got 5 ad sets, 1 campaign. Okay, so this is all 1 campaign. Now, just so I'm clear, this is just on Facebook. On YouTube, it's different. Okay, so I just want to be clear. So ad set number 1 is obviously an audience, right? So 5 by 3, the 3 is going to represent the ads. Okay, so in the program, you guys know that I have different templates for ad templates and stuff because I want you guys to test different things, right? So I'm gonna do this as if it's Michael, because him and I are the ones that are kind of having the conversation, but guys, feel free to chime in, okay? So let's say Michael has 5 different audiences. He probably wouldn't because he's localized. Local audiences, or you're not going to have 5. You might have like a 2 by 3 or something like that. But this is what a 5 by 3 looks like. So let's say he has a video of the concrete slamming, right? Then he has a graphic image with that has his offer on it. And then maybe he has a more organic photo of cracked cement, right? Now, these could all have the same ad copy, like if you want, but you can do one's the elevator. Let's say this is a power nugget video, one's the elevator pitch, and let's say one's a power offer, right? So you've got 3 different ads all in the same ad set. So you're going to have the same ad across all of these ad sets. You guys following me right now? So 5 ad sets. Now, once I launch these, I'm going to wait for Facebook to approve them. Super, super important. Then I'm going to take the post ID and I'm going to use the same ads so that if someone comments from ad set number 5, it's going to show up across all the ad sets. That's how you get social proof. All right. A lot of times people are just duplicating and they're creating like all of these different ads, but we want to use the same 3 ads across all of the ad sets so that if someone comments here, it shows up across all. Fitz, great question. This is a ABO campaign. We're going to optimize our budget at the ad set level. Why? Because of the problem that Michael just talked about. We want to have as much control over this test as possible. Okay. So 5 by 3. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this campaign run, right, to at least 5K impressions. Okay. Once we have, now I'm launching these at $10 a piece. So anytime you're running a conversion ad, I want you to run them at $10 a day. So if you only have $30 a day to spend, this would be a 3 by 3. If you only have $20 a day, this would be a 2 by 3, right? We don't want to run conversion campaigns for lower than $10 a day. Everyone understand that? $10 a day. Okay. We need enough budget so that Facebook could optimize. Now, one of the things that you're going to start to see is that some of these are going to start generating leads, right? So let's say ad set number 1 is generating leads at KPI. Let's say he's paying $11 a lead, and number 1 is the one that's performing. Okay. The one thing that I'm noticing is that, well, since the first ad is generating leads, Facebook has decided to not give any budget to these other 2 ads. Common problem. How many of you guys have noticed that in your campaigns? That you run them and then you're like, oh shit, like Facebook's not giving any love to that other campaign. This is what I do, and this is how I optimize every single freaking campaign. I am just looking for a winner, an audience, and a winning ad. Here, if this ad set is generating leads at KPI, I'm going to duplicate ad set number 1. And I'm going to say, well, this one is the graphic image ad. It's not getting any love, but this one's already proven to convert leads. So I'm going to duplicate it twice. So this is ad set number 1. And then I'm going to take the other one. That's the organic photo. Still at $10 a day. Okay. So now we're increasing our budget, but by now, probably some of these ad sets we're going to be able to start to turn off, right? Because one ad set is generating leads. Let's say this one doesn't generate leads. Let's say this one does. I'm still running this one. I'm not touching anything about this one. It's doing well. I never touch things that are doing well, but I'm like, oh, cool. Ad set number 3 is performing, but you know, those two are generating leads at $30. Well, it's not giving this one any love. I know it's getting leads, so I'm probably going to test it by itself and say, okay, ad set number 3 is generating leads. These are too hot. They're higher than what I want to pay. So I'm going to test this one. And this is how I optimize. Okay. Now, right now you're like probably saying, God dang, Laurel, that is a lot of freaking budget. But remember, I'm only starting off with a 5x3 if I don't know of any audiences to convert or any ads. Once I know audiences that convert, I don't do the 5x3. I just do it this way, where I do one ad under an audience. And so this is what I do. So if you have, let's say a client gives me $5,000 to spend. I am probably going to spend $3,000 of it in the first 7 days because I want to find my winners so that I can get 5 winning ads with adjacent winning audiences. Then this is where the CBO comes in. I'm going to create a CBO campaign, meaning that Facebook is going to optimize the budget at the campaign level. I'm going to throw those winning 5 ads and winning 5 ad sets into the CBO, and I'm going to let Facebook go to town. But you see how I overshot the budget in the first 7 days because I wanted to find my winners and I wanted to find them fast. Yep, 5,000. I let this go for 5,000 impressions before I even start to look at it. Like whenever I launch a client's campaign, so we're getting into kind of like the strategy thing, but I think if you guys are up for the conversation, I am. This is like, how do I say this? We want to make sure that we have winners. And so whenever I am doing a campaign, like a new launch, let's say I have a client that's doing a challenge, I will tell my client to get me all of the stuff I need 4 weeks in advance. We might only go balls to the wall with ads 2 weeks up until the challenge, but I'm getting this done in the first 2 weeks so that we can go to town on ads that work. Does that make sense? So I get all of the testing out because think about this. To set all of this up, the 5x3 is probably going to take 3 days just to set it up by the time you wait for Facebook to approve. I don't move forward. So I'm going to do ad set 1, ad 1, launch it, wait for Facebook to approve it, then do ad 2, wait for Facebook to approve. That's my process because I don't want to risk Facebook rejecting all of these ads at one time because that is shitty. And then my client's not happy with me. So I always tell my clients, in order to prepare for a 2-week ad launch, give me 4 weeks so that I can get the ad setup and the testing out of the way so that we could go balls to the wall for 2 weeks before the challenge. That way I have my winning ad sets and we are rocking and rolling. Now here's the thing. And this is why it's cool to be consistent with a strategy because this is going to compound. Next time we run a challenge, I'm just going to turn this campaign on again. Already tested everything. Everything works. And this will probably work for the next 3 challenges before we have to do some new creatives or something. As a matter of fact, one of my clients, we kept turning it on for 2.5 years and it worked. And then just recently in the spring of this year, it stopped working and I had to do a lot of work. But for 2.5 years, I didn't have to do anything with the ads manager.
So that's a thank you for this because that was
Yeah,
powerful.
definitely appreciate it.
The whole fact that you say 4 weeks out before the challenge starts.
Mm-hmm. And in between the challenges, we're running power content because your warm audience is always going to convert at a less cost and they're more likely to buy by the end.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I turn honestly, there's 3 CBO campaigns that I run over and over again for my $7 program. And Charlene knows this. I talk about it a lot and lean on Laurel. I switch them on and off quarterly. Like this one, I just switched on some ad sets that I hadn't ran in 3 months because the other one was starting to putter out. So I turned off that one, turned on an old one, and boom, more sales are coming in. I just do that until they all stop working altogether. I've been recycling the same winning ads, but here's the thing. It took me a lot of ads to get these winning ads. I have about 10 or 11 ads that are golden. They have like over 100 comments on them. 2 of them actually have over 2,000 comments on them. You probably have seen them. But they still work. So I run them, but I've probably launched over the last 2 years. I've probably launched about 300 or 400 ads just to end up with the 10 or 11 that I have running now that are successful. So when someone's like, oh, I'm only running 1 or 2 ads, you need to get more creative. Like I shoot 5 to 10 ads every week.
So I
either
may
shoot
have been
them or I
like,
create them.
I may have been like shooting myself in the foot then, because we have some people that come in that are just, I don't know, strange people, but they basically just comment like off the wall crazy stuff.
Oh,
Like one person's like, asphalt is killing the world or whatever. And so like I thought that having those kind of comments would be negative. So do you just delete the comments or like?
I have fun with them.
Okay.
Unless someone is being like super like I get called the C word quite frequently.
Well, crazy.
I'll delete those because obviously it's like very that word is very bad in my so I delete those. But for anyone who says anything about me being gay, having tattoos or anything, I have fun with them. I always tell them thank you for their feedback.
Right.
Hey, Laurel, let me ask you this question. It might be outside the realm that you want to answer here, but what would you, having done this and knowing the strategy, what would you charge small creators to set this up for them to do this? Because they always have, I don't have a lot of money, and you know.
Like, is it like you're talking about like the $500 video funnel?
Yeah, specifically that. Yep, DCA.
I'd probably charge $1,000 and charge them quarterly instead of monthly.
Quarterly, the same $1,000 quarterly.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
It doesn't take up a lot of time.
Fantastic, appreciate it.
Yeah, but I probably underprice a lot in a lot of ways. But my very first ad client, I charged $150 a month. And it was back in the day when you could still run ads that was like, I'll help you get to 6 figures in the next. And then I figured out that she was making $20,000 to $30,000 every weekend from my ads. And I was like, I should probably raise my prices.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I run local ads like here, I do them for free, obviously. But when I did local ads back in Phoenix, because a lot of people don't know that, I told my students last week, a lot of people don't realize like I started in brick and mortar. Like I didn't even run ads for coaches. That's not how I started. I started with pizza parlors and then branched out to local businesses. And then Chad Thibodeau found me and invited me to do an event for one of the ClickFunnels events in Phoenix or whatever. And bada bing, bada boom, the same strategies that I was doing worked for coaches, and here I am. And you guys paid me more money than brick and mortar businesses do.
This has been great. I appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you guys want a quick way to set I know it's not this, but if you guys want a quick way to set up the $500 video funnel or DCA, come visit me in Dallas on October 14th and 15th. This is something that I haven't been advertising, but it comes with 3 months access to me too, and pre-work. So it's you don't only get the event, you get me for 3 months after. So pretty cool deal. But if you don't want to come to Dallas, you could join Lean on Laurel, or you can keep coming to these calls. Either way. Thank you, Janice. Yep, actually, I have the event link, and we have a 2-pay now. So a couple of people wanted 2-pays, and so just let me know. Here's the link. I'm putting it in the chat. It's not only me, it's actually my mentor, Nick Peterson, is also going to be there. My copywriter, Lucas Rashevsky, is going to be part of the deal, and also Brandon Straza, and a lot of just some of my colleagues. I always tell people, yeah, you're coming for the strategy, but you're going to be in the same room with a lot of high quality people. Like, we're keeping the event super small. It's going to be fun. So if you guys are interested in coming to that, there's the link. You can ask me any questions. I'll be happy to chat with you how it'll work out. Like I said, 3 months access to me. But yeah, if you want to come hang out, we'll have fun. I have a really fun way to do videos, to get our videos done. You're actually going to leave with your videos launched, whether you want to do them on YouTube or Facebook Ads Manager, TikTok, however you want to do them. We'll make sure you're launched and ready to go. And then 3 months of support to make sure that those videos are optimized and bringing in clients. Because if they're not bringing in clients, we gotta troubleshoot some stuff. So I didn't feel right about just having the event and then being like, bye. want to make sure that everything gets going. But yeah, Kimberly, I would love to see you. Where are you from, Kimberly?
Yeah, I really appreciate this. I need to go through your class. So that's what I'm gonna be doing like all weekend, and I probably will have more questions. I got to jump off into a sales meeting, but I definitely appreciate the time and effort going into answering my question. I did not expect that level of detail. So definitely $7 well spent. So I appreciate it.
Hey, that's what I want to hear. $7 well spent. That's my whole goal.
Awesome. Appreciate it, now.
Yep, very welcome. Kimberly, you're from Raleigh, North Carolina. Fun fact, my very first TV job outside of college was in Greenville, North Carolina. So I used to fly out of RDU all the time and go hang out at Cat's Cradle in Chapel Hill. Any further questions before I turn you guys loose? Right? Has everyone started at least their power content videos? Everyone got their power content videos running? Does anyone not have does anyone not have any part of this set up yet? Has everyone at least started? Cool. Does everyone feel like this is attainable? Yeah, Kathy, it's perfect because we're going to be, she said, hey, is your event good for people that are newer to Facebook? Absolutely. You'll have me on hand to actually help you place those in Ads Manager. So you won't have to do it yourself, right? But yeah, if you're new to Facebook, I will hook you up. Yep, Kimberly, you can bring your assistant or your partner. That's fine. Let's see. Nick says, would you happen to know, are the benchmark KPIs for power content in, what is LATA? I'm sorry. Maybe my brain is fried. Oh, Latin America. Yeah. I've been running a lot of ads in South Africa. Like I have so many South African students, they're awesome. I use the same KPIs. What was my biggest takeaway or everyone's biggest takeaway? Let's see, my biggest takeaway is that I'm super impressed that a lot of you guys are actually like following the training and actually executing. It's great. It's great to have a room full of people who are actually like doing the work and getting through things.
Yeah, I'm about to really ramp this all the way up. Because I can help so many people, and just playing small and being on cruise control. You know, a lot of us have big purposes, big missions, and we're sitting on cruise control because we're comfortable, but there are people suffering because we're cruising. So yeah.
Yep.
Thank
and
you.
you know, yeah, no, definitely. So here's something that like we always talk about, like fail-proof strategies, and Charlene and I have been actually talking about this a lot. Is think about this, right? Let's say you're putting out content, you're having conversations with people, because one of the biggest questions that I get is, Laurel, how do you continuously just come up with new content? And it's all from conversations with you guys. Like this call alone has given me so many things to talk about, right? Because I know that there's other people who are like Michael, who are probably trying to generate leads for local companies. And so now all I got to do is go into repurpose.io, right? I always tell you about like the repurpose.io, like two softwares my business can't live without. And if you guys haven't found your way to the Lanyap section and resources I use, two things I couldn't live without: OneStream Live and repurpose.io. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to cut up this training. I'm going to use repurpose to cut it up. into probably 5 to 10 minute chunks. And then I'm going to stream it live using one stream. And then I'm going to run them as ads. So I'm just simply leveraging the stuff that I'm already doing in order to create new content. And what Fitz just said fits really well into that, is because think about this. Like whenever I first had a mentor very early on in my business, I still had my 9-to-5 job. The first task that he gave me, he was like, the best way to figure out what your audience wants and how you could help them. He's like, I want you to do 70 one-on-one 20-minute full value strategy calls. Do not even pitch anything. 70 in the next 90 days. I still had a full-time job. Remember that. I worked from 5 to 7 a.m. I worked during my lunch hour, and I worked 2 hours when I got home, and still had time to spend with my wife and go swimming. And I was in a band, go play music and all of that stuff. So I always tell people, if like time is an issue, you have to figure out your priorities. Like I was able to still have a full-time job, still get my job done, still do 70 calls in 90 days. It's just like prioritizing like what's super, super important, right? And so those 70 calls, I learned so much about my target market. And as soon as I would get off of a call, I would go live and talk about the value that I just helped one person achieve. So 70 calls ended up with 70 pieces of content. So if you're someone, think about this. If in the next 90 days, you want to get more clients, make yourself a goal, right? Like Charlene has been doing email audits. That's what she does. She helps people with email. So if any of you guys are having issues with email, go check out her content. She's been doing a lot of amazing content. She's given away a lot of stuff too. But one of the things that she's been giving away are email audits. Like that's an amazing thing to like, she's going to learn so much about the issues, because think about this. If she's giving away email audits, think about how much she's going to learn about the mistakes people are making in their email, right? So if you guys need clients, figure out a way to get people on the phone. That is by far, and just do no pitch sessions. Say, hey, I promise I won't pitch anything. That's the way that I did it. But guess what? At the end of those 70 calls, I had booked out my agency. I didn't even have to pitch anyone. They were just like, well, how do I work with you? If you need clients, I'm telling you, figure out a way to get people over the phone or have messenger conversations, and just don't worry about the sale. Just give your heart out. The clients are going to come. Like I guarantee, if every single person gets on the phone with 70 people, think about like how different your business is going to be in the next 90 days if you can get on the phone with 70 people. Obviously, if you have a high ticket offer, if you have a low ticket offer, whatever, but just think about that. How different would your business be? Especially if you do this strategy, that's going to build credibility and authority so fast that when you post, just think what would happen if I post, hey, I'm doing free one-on-one strategy calls. Probably 500, 600 comments. Easy. But that's from doing this for 4 years. I don't do anything complicated. This is the staple of my entire business, is this strategy right here. Fitz said I'd sign up from my burner account. You guys are very welcome. I am out of coffee, so you guys know what that means. I know this was supposed to be cocktails, but it is only 1 o'clock, but I know. But I hope you guys got a lot of value. And if you want to join me, whether it's an event, Lean on Laurel, just reach out to me. We'll chat, we'll jam. I would love to see all of y'all in person. If you can't make it in person, we do the same thing in Lean on Laurel. You still get access to Lucas Rashesky in my Lean on Laurel program. So you still have access to my copywriter. I bring in my mentor from time to time. And I don't know if Joe is still here, but you get access to Joe and you get access to Charlene, right? Charlene, if you need help with email, Charlene's the person to go to, right? That's what I'm trying to build in my Lean on Laurel program, is just this really cool mastermind where everyone's helping each other. Like this morning, one of our clients was doing a messenger funnel from Instagram DM using ads, and he was like, I'm just going to shoot a Loom video teaching everyone how I did it, and he posted it in the program. I was like, that's freaking awesome. That's the kind of program I want to build, where everyone who's a member is adding value and getting value. So anyways, you guys have a nice day. I will talk to you guys later. To go tell everyone in the group how much fun we had on this call today and that they're losers for missing it. No, I'm kidding. But anyway, you guys have a great day. Love you all. I'll see you guys later.